Hello, welcome to Acharya Nidana Academy. In this particular video, we are going to discuss the effect of Vyayama or exercise. What is considered as Vyayama, and what will be the effects of Vyayama, and what will happen if Vyayama is done excessively, and what are the other factors which has to be avoided to do in excessive quantity. So Vyayama, it is termed as exercise. What do you say? As per the present day scenario. Ayurveda says, Sharira ayasa janakam karma vyayama uchate. That means anything which is considered to be responsible for the what do you say that the physical exertion, that is termed as vyayama. It is being mentioned in Sushruta Uttara Tantra, 50th chapter, the Dalana commentary. It says, Vyayama karma dhanurakarshana vyapara. So, any of these dhanurakarshana, so that means in the olden days it was being considered to be dhanurakarshana. So that means the activities related to warfare, that is being considered as the Vyayama karma. So, the same thing is being explained as mentioned earlier, Sharira ayasa janam karma vyayama uchate. Any aspect which is responsible for the exhaustion or the fatigue to the body after doing the physical activity, that is being termed as Vyayama. And it is being mentioned that the effect of Vyayama, Sharira cheshta ya cheshta, stairyartha balabarthini, deha Vyayama sankhyaata, matraya tam samacharet. Sharira cheshta ya cheshta, stairya artha balavarthini, deha vyayama sankhyaata matraya tam samacharet. It is being mentioned that sharira cheshta ya cheshta, any of the activities which are considered to be physical, and the outcome of this particular physical activity is sthairya. So that means firmness of the body parts. Balavardhini, strength promoting or the strength increasing activity, and that has to be done in appropriate quantity. Matrayatam tam samacharet. And what are the effects of the Vyayama that is being mentioned? Lakhavam karma samarthyam, diptognir medasah kshayah, vibhaktagana gatratvam, Vyayamat upajayate. If the person does Vyayama in adequate quantity, Lakhavam karma samarthyam, dipto agnihi, medasah kshayah, vibhaktagana gatratvam, vibhakta ghana gatratvam, Vyayamat upajayate. So that means laghavam, that means lightness of the body. Karma samarthyam, so that means as and when the person does the exercise, he will be having the ability to do more and more activity. Dipto agnihi, the person will be having the digestive fire to have increased in the both in the Jatharagni level, Dhatwagni level, and Bhutagni level. Medasahakshayah, when the person does more amount of the exercise, there will be medasahakshayah. So that means when a person starts doing the physical activity, initially there will be carbohydrate depletion. In a matter of 30 minutes later, there will be fat depletion starts to occur. Where this particular fat is being located, this may be located in the subcutaneous tissue, this may be located in the breast, this may be located in the abdomen, this may be located in the breast, etc. In all these, from all these areas, there will be the, what do you say, that the stored fat that will be getting converted into circulating fat, thereby medasahakshayah from these body parts are going to get observed. Vibhakta ghana gatratvam. So that is being mentioned. Vibhaktani, vibhagena stani. So that means the body parts, they will be in the appropriate proportion. Ghanani, that means when a person starts doing the activities, these muscular muscles become stronger. Gatrani yasya vibhakta ghana gatraha. So vibhakta ghana gatratvam refers to these muscular portions. They will become firm and appropriate proportions. That is vibhakta ghana gatratvam. The same is being mentioned in the Charaka Samhita. Laghavam karma samarthyam, stairyam dukkha sahishnata, doshakshayo agnivriddhishcha, vyayama dupachayate. Laghavam, as we have mentioned, that is the because of the depletion of the fat, stored fat, the person will be having the lightness of the body. Karma samarthyam, because of the increased activities related to the muscle, the person will be developing the activities of that is increased, the ability to do the activities is going to get increased. Stairyam, that means firmness of the body parts will be there. Dukkha sahishnata, the person will be able to tolerate the discomfort produced by the certain exercise, produced by the exercises or any other physical exertion inducing activities. Doshakshayo, so that means the ones which are responsible for the disease manifestation or the pathogens, they are going to get decreased. Or vitiated dosha, the proportion of vitiated dosha is going to get decreased. Agni vruddhishta, the person will be having the increased appetite. Jataragni may be going to get increased, the Hatvagni may be going to get increased, as well as Bhutagni is going to get increased. It is been mentioned the Lakshana of Vyayama. What do you mean by Vyayama? Svedagamaha, Shwasavriddhi, Gatranam Laghavam Tatha, Hridayadi Uparodhascha, iti Vyayama Lakshanam. Svedagamaha. So that means the appearance of the sweat in the different parts, maybe forehead, axilla, groin, and other body parts. Shwasavriddhi, the person will be having the increased or effortful breathing. That means the person starts to breathe through open mouth. And Gatranam Laghavam Tatha, this is attributable to the depletion of the fat following carbohydrate depletion. So that is Gatranam Laghavam Tatha, Hridayadi Uparodhashta. So that means the activities related to the the reduced activities in terms of what you say that the reduced circulatory function because of the excess body fluid depletion. Sweating is going to get decreased. Because of that, the venous return from the veins is going to get reduced. As far as amount of Vyayama is being mentioned, that is Ardhashaktya Nishevyastu Balibhi Snigdha Bojibhi Shitakale Vasante cha Mandameva Tatonyata Ardhashaktya Nishevyastu Nishevyaha tu Balibhi Snigdha Bojibhi Shitakale Vasante cha Mandameva Tato Anyata Tato Anyatha. So that means, so Ardha Shaktya, whenever if you are doing the physical activity, that has to be Ardha Shakti. And that has to be done by Valibihi Snigdha Bhojibihi. That has to be done by if the person is having the adequate strength and if the person is doing the Snigdha Bhojana, then it has to be Ardha Shakti. In case of Shitakala and in case of the Vasanta, the person has to do milder form of the physical activities. Sushruta mentions Balasyardhena kartavyo vyayamo hantyato anyatha. So that means the Vyayama has to be done Balasya Ardhena. It is being mentioned in the Dallana commentary. Kaksha Lalatana Sasu Hastapadadi Sandhishu Prasvedat Magashoshacha Balardham Tadhi Nirdishet. Kaksha lalata nasasu hasta pada adi sandhishu prasvedat mukhashoshat cha balardham tadhi nirdishet. These are the lakshana or the symptoms of balardhata. So kaksha, so that means the axilla, lalata, forehead, nasa, that is the around the nasal region, hastapada, around the hasta, pada, around the feet. In these regions, the person will be having prasveda. So that means excessive sweating is going to get observed. Mukha shosha, the person will be having the dryness of the mouth. This is what we can say balardha. Till this particular time period, the person has to do the physical activity. As far as impact of ati vyayama, when the person does more amount of the vyayama, more than balardha, what will be the impact? Trishna, kshayaha, pratamako, raktapittam, shramaha, klamaha, ativyayamataha, kaso, jwaraha, chardishcha, jayate. Trishna, it is attributable to hypovolemia. Kshayaha, this is attributable to the more amount of the, what do you say, that the fat loss from the body. Pratamakaha, that means increased effortful breathing is going to get increased. So much so that the person will be having the hypovolemic shock. Raktapittam, this is attributable to increased blood circulation because of the, to say that the skeletal muscular activities. In sometimes the person will be having the nasal bleeding. Shramaha, so that means Shramaha and Klamaha, so that is exhaustion, which is considered attributable to the lack of nutrients, both carbohydrate, fat loss. So thereby the person may have even the protein loss also. Kaso, so this can be attributable to the some amount of the entry of the secretions from the oral cavity or secretions of the alimentary canal into the respiratory passages. Thereby, the development of a cancer may be occurring. Jwaraha, this may be attributable to, what you say, that the increased heat production. It is not the decreased heat, plus even decreased heat loss may also be present, but ideally it is increased heat production, which is considered to be overactivity of muscles. That is being mentioned. Chaddehi, that means the person may be having the reverse peristaltic movements if the person starts doing the activity immediately after taking food. The same is being mentioned in different, what do you say, that the order in case of Charaka Samhita. As far as contraindications of Vyayama, Bala Vruddha Pravatashcha, Echa Uchchai Bahubhashakaha, Te Varjayeho Vyayamam, Shuditaha Trishitashchaye, Bala Vruddha Pravatashcha, Bala Vruddha Pravataha cha e cha Uchchaihi Bahubhashakaha, Te Varjayeyuhu Vyayamam, Shuditaha Trishitaha cha e. So that means when the person are having these kinds of the situations, the Vyayama has to be avoided. Bala. So that means that is usually considered to be in the children who are having less, what is it, mature cells. Vriddha. But when you think about the Bala, they usually they are overactive. If you are making them to do even further kinds of these Vyayama, that is considered to be responsible for the fat loss itself, right? Vriddha, they are having the degenerative tissues. For example, most commonly joint diseases. Degenerative joint diseases are being observed in the elderly people. If a person does the more amount of the exercise, this may even worsen the situation also. pravataha. So that means exposure to, what do you say, that the fast wind. So this is considered to be the what do you say, the more amount of the fluid loss may be observed there. Ye cha uccaihi bahubhashakaha. Uccaihi bahubhashakaha in the sense what? So if the person is doing more amount of the bahubhashana, in the sense the speech activity, that will be more. So that means the person will be having the dryness of the mouth itself, which is an indication of a hypovolemia. Kshuditaha trishitashchaye. So that means these are the, in case of the kshudita means what? The person will be having the lack of carbohydrate. When there is lack of carbohydrate, naturally the body tries to get the nutrients from the fat. Plus, the body tries to get the nutrients from the muscle, which may be leading to metabolic acidosis. Thereby, the person will be having the respiratory alkalosis later. Thereby, the person may be having the respiratory disease manifestations, etc. Whereas Trishita refers to the person will be having the hypovolemia, which in turn results in hypovolemic shock later. Vatapittamai balo वृद्धो जीर्णचेतम त्यजेत. Ashtanga Hridaya says, Vata Pittamayi. The person who is suffering from Vata dominant diseases as well as Pitta dominant diseases, they has to be avoided. The Vyayama has to be avoided. As far as Vata is concerned, it is usually considered to be the increase of the either Rukshaguna, Laguguna, Kharaguna, Rukshaguna, Chalaguna, either one, two, or all the three, or all the gunas of the vata vitiation. Then ideally one has to avoid vyayama in excess, which in turn results in further increase of either one, two, or all the gunas, which is again causing the deleterious effect to the body. Pitta. When you say about the pitta, more amount of the vyayama results in the overactivity of the muscle. This is resulting in the more amount of the heat generation. Again, it's an indication to increase the Ushna guna of the pitta in the body. So that means that will worsen the situation itself. Right. Ajirni. Ajirni in the sense the person will be having the disturbances in the conversion of macromolecules into micromolecules. When this is happening, this is actually resulting in the, what do you say, the depletion of stored fat into circulating fat. Thereby, the person will be having the even much more emaciation. Thereby, we are worsening the situation in that particular situation. So, apart from the Vyayama, these are the other activities which are usually being contraindicated by the person in excess. Vyayama, Jagara, Atyadhva, Stri, Hasya, Bhashya, Adi Sahasam, Gajam Simha Iva Karshan, Bhajannati Vinashyati. If the person does these activities in excess, it will destroy the body, just like the Simha or lion comes in the quarrel with elephant. That will be deleterious, or that will be damaging to the lion itself. If this lion he comes in contact with gaja or the elephant for quarrel. So those are Vyayama exercise. Jagara. So that means the awakening at night time or the night outs. Atyadhva. So that means excessive walking. Stri. That means excessive sexual intercourse. Hasya. Excessive comedy or the laughing. Bhashya. Excessive speaking, etc. If the person does that is actually causing the damage to the health of the individual. When you think about the movement, the Vyayama, effect of Vyayama to the in the body. So that means, so if the person does more amount of the Vyayama, so that actually leads to the movement of the macromolecules from the alimentary canal to the intravascular compartment. From there, it will be moving into the interstitial compartment. From there, it will be moving into the intracellular compartment. So that means the pathogens that will be moving from the alimentary canal to the intracellular compartment. Let us see how this actually happens. So it is being mentioned that normally the blood will be moving in the capillaries once or twice per minute during resting period. Even though during resting period the heart pumps the blood into the aorta almost 70 to 80 times, but the blood in the capillaries that will move not more than twice per minute. But when the person's doing the exercise, that will be leading to the increase of the blood supply in the capillaries up to 10 to 20 fold, which leads to the increase of the blood supply to the part that is being involved in the exercise. Suppose if the person is doing the exercise related to lower limb, the blood supply will be increasing from once or twice in the resting period to 10 to 20 times per minute during the exercise. When the person starts doing the exercise soon after the consumption of food, this will be leading to the decrease of gastric secretions, thereby increase of the blood supply to the part involved in the exercise that will going to get increased. Suppose if the person is doing the more amount of the walking soon after the consumption of food, so that will be resulting in the less blood supply to the stomach, but that will be leading to the increase of the blood supply to the upper limb itself. This will be hampering the conversion of macromolecules into the micromolecules. So thereby there will be the depletion of the body tissues, that is fat, from the body. But when the person does more amount of the exercise after the consumption of food, 2 hours or 3 hours after consumption of food, then in such occasion the blood will be or the moving from the, if at all if the pathogens are being present in the small intestine, that will be moving from the small intestine to the upper limb itself. If the person is doing the walking, then pathogens that will be moving from small intestine to lower limb. But if the person is doing the more exercise after the 6 or 7 hours after the food intake, then the pathogens or macromolecules which are present in the large intestine, that will be moving from the large intestine to lower limb. If the person is doing the activities related to upper limb, then the pathogens or the macromolecules, they will move from large intestine to upper limb itself. So this is how the effect of Vyayama will be considered. It will be leading to the, what do you say, that the movement of the pathogens or macromolecules from the alimentary canal to the part where the person is doing the more and more exercise. The take-home messages from today's discussion is Vyayama, exercise that is considered to be leading to the more amount of the catabolic activities. That means the depleting nutrients activities. There will be sequential depletion of carbohydrate, fats and proteins takes place. If the Vyayama done in excess, this will lead to the the incomplete conversion of macromolecules into micromolecules, that means they will act as pathogens. They will be moving from the stomach or small intestine or large intestine during the phases of either Samakapha or Samapitta or Samavata into the intravascular compartment. There they will be moving into the interstitial compartment, and later they will be moving into the intracellular compartment. In this way, the Vyayama, if that is done in excess, that will be leading to the manifestation of disease, wherein pathogens that will move from alimentary canal to intracellular compartment. That's all for today. Dear ANA members, what are the major key takeaways from today's discussion? Mention in the comment box. And what is the one particular topic that you would like to learn or that you'd like to see in the coming videos? Mention in the comment box. And if you are liking this particular video, then put a thumbs up and spread this particular video to the maximum number of true Ayurveda learners, so that we can make a huge movement out of this particular small message. That's all for today. Something more in the next video. Thank you.